Hello everybody, you are going to be using this video to help you complete task 4.3. And I want to point out two important resources that are going to be helpful as you're completing this assignment. So this first image that you see on my screen is from the week of 419, task 3.4, those notes. It helps you know what is a metal, what is a non-metal. The other important file that's important is from this week's assignment, and it is right in the 4.1 task. And here you've got a better view of that task 4.1. It's showing you all of the properties and definitions of ionic compounds, as well as how do we draw their dot diagrams, along with the covalent compounds, what kind of elements, and how we draw those dot diagrams as well. So at this point, I want you to make sure that you have your task 4.3, that assessment, open, and I want you to complete the first question in that assessment. When you're done with that, come back to this video and have question number 2 ready to go, because I am completing the simulation because it doesn't work on all computers. So I'm going to show you, and you're going to be making the observations and the conclusions based on what I am showing you in this simulation. So if needed, pause and go find that assessment and get it open. If you can, do a side-by-side view of this video and that assessment. Okay, so now that you're ready, we are first going to test the conductivity of pure water. Now this is not the water that you get out of your sink, but it's distilled or purified water. So looking at this conductivity tester that you see here, it is currently not lighting up. So that means that water, it does not conduct electricity, or the light bulb is not glowing. Now, what if I add a little bit of salt? Would salt water conduct electricity? Well, look at that. And what do you notice as I add more and more salt appears to these lines that are coming out of the light bulb? It's conducting better and better. That's an important observation to note. Okay, at this point, I need to reset so that we can check the conductivity of water. So we are going to grab our conductivity tester again, but this time we're going to add sugar. So salt water conducted. Plain water did not conduct. What do you think about sugar water? I don't see anything. So in this case, it is not going to be conducting. So think about what you just observed and make sure you complete questions 2 and 3. How did we get that light bulb to glow really brightly? Can I keep adding sugar? Will that work? What about salt? Will salt matter? And do I want more salt or less salt? We also can look at the amount of water that we have. What if I add a little bit of water? Okay, so now we've looked at salt versus sugar, and I want you to look at the table in the next question that describes an electrolyte versus a non-electrolyte, and you are going to be able to tell what salt versus sugar is. Pause this recording and come back when you are ready for the next question. Okay, so now you've completed that, we're going to switch to the water tab. So these molecules are water, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, so the oxygen is red. And we are going to look at adding a little bit of salt as well as a little bit of sugar to the water, and you need to make some observations about what you notice happening. So we're going to start with salt. I'm going to put it in there. I see that the Na has a plus and the Cl has a minus next to it. So if you weren't sure of what kind of compound it was, maybe you can go back and adjust that with that added information. So again, make some observations, write those down into your task. So I've reset the simulation. Now we're going to look at what sugar does. you want to notice or see, do you think there is a difference between what salt did and what sugar does? So in this picture, again, I have two compounds of salt, one on the left, one on the right. You'll see that with those formulas, the C12H22O11. So again, make some observations. What do you notice? Okay. This simulation is going to give you information so that you can complete both this current question as well as the next question. You're making a possible prediction as to why you think that the salt glowed, but the sugar did not glow. Pause this video, go complete those questions, and come back, and we are going to be looking at the micro tab when you come back. Okay, so for this next question, there is a table that's reminding you about the definition of ionic and covalent compounds. You're going to want to review that before you start filling in the third column. Okay, so we're going to start with salt or sodium chloride, and we're going to add a little bit, and we are going to see what happens. Does it break apart or stay together when we put it into the water? So making that observation and thinking back to the macro tab, and we can actually switch back there, will salt conduct electricity? So we see the answer to will it or will it not conduct electricity, and then we see the answer to does it break apart or stay together in this part of the simulation. Okay, fill in the first two columns and then go to your periodic table. Was this an ionic or a covalent compound? Pause the video if needed. We are going to now add sucrose and do the same thing. Make some observations. Does it break apart or does it stay together? Therefore, did it or did it not conduct electricity? So remember, the sugar molecule is a big cluster of carbons, hydrogens, and oxygens. So this right here is one sugar molecule. Does it break apart or stay together? Therefore, is it an electrolyte or a non-electrolyte? And again, go back to the definitions at the top of that chart. Does that mean that it is ionic or covalent? Now, you're going to notice that the table contains 4 more compounds. We have to advance the simulation so that we can see those more compounds. So we're going to do calcium chloride. So we're going to add a little bit of calcium chloride to this. Again, you're going to observe. Does it break apart or stay together? You're going to decide, is it an electrolyte or non-electrolyte? Therefore, is it ionic or covalent? If you need to, pause the video so that you can answer the questions after you've made your observations. Okay, so that's for you to do the calcium chloride. I'm now going to reset it. If you need to, pause the video before I reset so you can make your observations correctly. We're also going to look at sodium nitrate, NaNO3, and make some observations on this one. So again, I'm going to shake a little bit in. If you need to, pause the video to make some conclusions before I reset that video, or reset the simulation. Okay, we're going to reset one more time. And this last one, we are looking at glucose, which is C6H12O6. You probably learned about it in living environment. So we're going to add some glucose. And again, make some observations. Fill in the chart on your own and decide, is it an electrolyte, non-electrolyte? Therefore, is it an ionic or a covalent compound? At this point, you are on the concluding questions. So, remember your definitions of ionic and covalent. You can review the definitions of electrolyte, and you can use your periodic table to figure out what kind of elements each compound contains. To help you, I'm going to add the sodium chloride as well as some sucrose to this container, so you can use that to help you with that final concluding idea. Okay, pause if you need to. Also remember to wait. Do not complete your second attempt of the assessment until you've gotten feedback or attended a Zoom session to go over any concepts that you didn't understand. Good luck and have a nice rest of your day.